Hello, sitting in front of me are the 90 logos of every team that has played at a major. If you change your logo, it's been included twice, hence the 3 Team Liquid logos, 2 Fnatic logos, and so on. We're going to be ranking them. I've created a load of tiers on this tier list website, tiermaker.com, I believe. Okay, so number 1 tier is godlike, then amazing, then pretty good, then decent, then painfully mediocre, because sometimes things are you feel so indifferent that it hurts. Slightly poor, quite awful, very awful, and bleach in my eyes. This is all 90 of them sitting here. I want to apologise quickly for some of the resizing errors, like Team E-Battle is really stretched, so is Clan Mystic. But then, because I was trying to resize them, because the website doesn't work very well if the images aren't square. So I was trying my best to square all the images, and some of them went a bit off. But towards the end, I figured out a perfect way of doing it. Some of them do have white backgrounds, but it doesn't really matter. And some of them are invisible, like TSM and Titan beside it, and some of the other ones. But anyway, let's get started with the ridiculously blurred 3D Max background. 3D Max, the writing on it is really hard to read. I really do not like it at all. Little devil with his headset on. No, I'm not a fan. I'd say it's quite awful, honestly. The Astana dragon is quite hand drawn. You can't really tell how hand drawn it is from the smaller image, but I do kind of think it's okay. So I think that's decent. I like the team name as well. I'm going to factor that in a little bit. Astana Dragons is a good name for a team. Astralis, master of the clean, simple logo design. Star is a thing that will come up a few times across here. Astralis is probably one of the better examples of it. I'd say it's a pretty good logo. Avant-Garde's original logo with the 7, because as we all know there are 7 players on a Counter-Strike team. 7, a very common number in Counter-Strike. Again, it's based on 15 rounds, you need 16 to win. You have 5 players and 2 sides. Don't know where 7 comes in at all. 7 rifles in the game, maybe. It's still a nice looking logo though. I do quite like it. It's pretty good as well. It's probably better than the Astralis logo, I'd say. Astralis can sit down there. I just think that looking at the colours of that Astralis logo, the red's just like too pastel-y. And I don't really like pastel colours. I like stronger colours, and the Avant-Garde one's more strong. But then I don't know if I actually like the Astralis logo as much, or if it's just because it's iconic, it's the Astralis logo that makes me like it more. No, we're going to stick with that. The new Avant-Garde logo is definitely worse, so it immediately gets dropped like 1 tier extra just because you had a good logo and you made it worse. So, no. It's not bad. I would say it's decent, but you've made the logo worse. I like the use of the sort of, you're leaving it to your imagination to see the A, even though it's not actually, it's just sort of the outline is drawn. Painfully mediocre, very bland. Big is a brilliant logo. I really like it. It is, yeah, the paws, the claws. It's an amazing logo in my opinion. Bravado though, South African team. Maybe because they're in South Africa, they didn't, get the memo on how to make a good logo because they're sort of separate from the rest of the world. They're too busy doing apartheid and stuff. It's quite bad, isn't it? Is it very bad, or is it quite bad? I'd say it's quite bad. It's not as bad as the 3D Max. Clan Mystic is one that some people like. I'm not a massive fan of it. It's not terrible. It definitely isn't terrible. I guess it's slightly poor. CLG is a logo I do like. I do like CLG logo. I think I like it more than the Cloud9 one. Hi though. I don't know if is it an amazing logo? I think it might be. It doesn't look like a G. It doesn't look like a C. The L I can understand. Don't get the other two, but you know what? It's an amazing logo. It's not a big clan logo though. Cloud9, it's decent. It's a decent logo. It's very iconic, but that's not really because of the logo. It's because of the team and the branding and all. You can sit in the good category. Your good logo. The complexity, their second logo, their third logo, not here because it's not competed at the major yet, which is a chance I could do a follow up, maybe including the new North logo, so I can scream at that and cry at the new Hellraisers logo. That Hellraisers logo would be there'd be a tier below bleach in my eyes, and that would be just for the Hellraisers logo. Right, the new complexity one is very good. I really like it. I think, is it amazing? Yeah, you know what? I think it is amazing. It's not as good as CLG though. Oh, you know what? Yeah, I think I'm oversaturating amazing. It's pretty good. The old complexity logo, however, is very bad. It's the worst image I've got of any of them because I couldn't find a good PNG of it. It just doesn't look. It's like an S. Why is it an S? You're known as Col, COL. Where's the S in? Where there's no S in complexity. There's no S in very awful either, but it can sit there. Copenhagen Wolves is a sort of forgotten style of logo, the old heroic logo. You know, the guy in the writing. Dream Eaters, I suppose, is that sort of an idea. I kind of like it though. It's good. It's better than Cloud9, I'd say. Crazy. Once again, we have another logo where you had a really good logo in Valiant. You've dropped it into the floor. Don't like it. It's quite awful. Not very awful. Quite awful. Better than 3D Max. Worse than Bravado, I'd say. That team everyone's forgotten about, which is good because your logo is horrific. It's terrible. It's a wolf. It's like a wolf on methamphetamine. Who approved this? Very awful. Worst complexity. Not bleach in my eyes though. We're not at that level yet. The Dignitas logo, the worst version of the two. They have also got the yellow one with the black, which I think is quite nice. Not a massive fan of the white. Or the grey colour is steely. It just looks a bit wrong for me. Painfully mediocre, worse than the Avant-Garde one. Dream Eaters, it's got character. It's got character. Gotta give it that. It's a decent logo. Better than the Sand Dragons. No bleaches yet, no godlikes. I don't know what's going to be in those ones yet. Oh, I do. Kind of. Oh dear. Forgot about that one. The Stretch Team E-Battle logo. Team E-Battle is on the picture, so I'm going to rank that as well. Team E-Battle is a terrible, terrible, terrible name. E-Battle is a terrible name as well, but you've spelt it wrong. Your logo is like an E that is pixel art, that's someone who's discovering pixel art and has done 5 minutes of pixel art and then given up. That's your logo, and you're making that to a major. Is what I originally thought, but it's sort of grown on me a little bit, even though it does look awful. It's sort of like so bad it's good in a way. So bad it's good doesn't mean it's actually good though. It is quite awful. Probably it's slightly poor. Quite awful, slightly poor. I think I'm going to put it in quite awful, but the best quite awful. Ensa is actually kind of a decent logo, but I hate the colour so much that it's immediately dropped into slightly poor. Worse than Clan Mystic, I'd say. The black one, it's Envious. Envious is a great logo, I think. Not going to be down there, it's going to be high up. Incredibly simple. You've done an N with a line through it. Is that cheating though? Because they've sort of just done one letter of the alphabet in a black circle and cut it in half, and that's branding. Oh, I suppose there's a V on the right side. That's clever, but then the other side isn't an N, so your team name would be AV. Doesn't really work, does it? It's still pretty good. Worst pretty good, I'd say. Epsilon, very nice logo for a very dodgy team. I like it. I don't like Epsilon. I like the logo. It's simple, to the point, clean. It's a good logo. Say it's mid-size good. Oh, this is like the Leeds badge. The Leeds badge where he's covering the badge. GESC is the name of the team, and there's a bear throwing their awful logo to the ground. Because it is terrible. They made a new version that was somehow even worse. But there's no way this is getting anywhere high. It's not bleach in my eyes. It's the worst logo we've seen so far though. The old FaZe Clan logo. What do I think of the old FaZe Clan logo? I think the new one's better. But is the old one bad? It's not bad, is it? I'd say it's good. I'd say it sits there. And then the new one. Where would the new one sit? Because I think it's probably more creative than the NV logo, but I suppose everything else is more creative than the NV logo, outside of maybe the crazy one. You know what? New FaZe, you can sit up with the big boys in between Astralis and Avant-Garde's old logo. Flash is a brilliant tiger. Looks really cool. Blue tigers. Didn't know they had them in China. A lot of things we don't know about China. Flash really high. I think that's better than CLG. Not quite a big fan though. Right at the top. Flipside Tactics. Still an amazing logo for a truly awful team that I have post-traumatic stress disorder from watching them play NIP in 2016. Bondic and Shara falling through the stage, falling through the floor. That's what the organisation has done to Shara and fallen through the floor of the scene and disappeared completely. Flip side though, that's a good logo. To go on a tangent, it's not as good as the Envy logo. It's better than the Copenhagen Wolves logo though, I'd say, so it can sit there. I was worried going into this that I'd be too negative, but so far everything's sort of more positive than negative, which is cool. Old Fnatic logo, it's iconic. It's not good though, it is quite bad. You can tell the difference between them as this one just looks worse. It's slightly poor. It's the worst slightly poor one, I'd say. No, you know what? It's the best quite awful one. But the new Fnatic logo is improved a bit. They've sort of fixed a few of the flaws. They can sit in front of the Ents logo. Ents can be the bridge between the two Fnatics. COVID. Forza now. Man, Viking helmet. It's a characterful. There's a lot of characterful CIS logos. I don't really like it that much, but I don't. For the creativity, you can sit in painfully mediocre. You can go and sit in front of Dignitas as well. Furia, great logo, great logo. It's better than the Flash logo, I think. I think no, it's not, because the Flash logo sort of is a blue tiger, and a blue tiger is something that isn't real. Furia is a puma, which is real, so obviously it loses. No, the real reason I was going to say is that like a blue tiger has so much character, whereas a black undisclosed cat is sort of a little bit less than that. I feel like I'm arguing against it, even though it is a really good logo. You know what? I think it's amazing. It's worse than CLG, better than CLG, better than CLG. I'm going to move Cole up, actually, and join them there. You know what? Don't do that. Don't tell anyone I'm changing it. G2. The new G2 logo is amazing. I love it. It's great. Bit white. I like a bit more black in there. It's my opinion on a lot of things. A little bit of red in the eyes. It's cool. It's nicer than the old one. The old one will be lower in that. You know what? The new GT logo can sit at the top of the pretty good ladder. The old G2 logo can sit on the bottom of... Or no, we can sit it about here. I think it's worse than the Flipside logo. No, it's better than the Flipside logo. It's at the top of good. G2 can be number one in second, which is a perfect metaphor for the G2 esports organization. Number one in finishing second. The old Gambit logo looks way worse once you see the new Gambit logo. The SAR does not look right at all. This just looks so much better than that, even though it's over the edges and looks a bit weird. This is really bad looking. It's not bad. It's bad by comparison. So I think the old Gambit logo, the star being a bit shiny as well, makes it look like it's some sort of 12-year-old clip art. 12-year-old's clip art. It's not very awful. It's quite awful. It's better than 3D Max. Better than Crazy. Better than Bravado. Worse than eBell. The new Gambit logo, however, has got to be higher up. I think it's painfully mediocre. No, I think it's decent. It can go decent. It's better than Astana. MTS Game God Wolf, the only Indian team here. Terrible name. Very generic. Team Wolf. Brilliant. There's a million people called Wolf. Which one are you? Suppose, to be fair, they weren't expecting to be at a major, so they didn't really prepare a decent name or a decent organization or a decent logo. But you know, you gotta give credit to them. It sort of works. It's decent. It's better than Dream Eaters. Is just looks odd. It's a man wearing a robe. Why is he wearing a robe? He looks like he's about to do some judo, but then he's accidentally got his robe on his head, and he's holding a wind chime. Because they'll need to do some weird spiritual things to ever get out of group of major. God sent, wrong team. God sent, wrong logo. It's grown on me. I hated it at the start. The yellow kind of looks nice. The writing's kind of nice. It just doesn't work. The eye looks wrong. It just doesn't work for me. It's not. It just lacks something. I'm gonna go for the bottom of painfully mediocre. Greyhound, team I despise. Logo I love. Love is strong. It's a very good logo. It's up there. It's up. Maybe actually it's a little bit overcomplicated. Might drop it down to about here. 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 Yeah, that feels about right. Hellraiser's old logo. Right. Regardless of what I say, it's an awful logo. Yes. But 2 lines. 2 red lines. Why? What are you doing? Do you have a design department? Do you have access to 2 things on paint? Do you have access to the square tool, the rotate tool, and the fill red? Why is that your logo? That's not a logo. So out of spite, I'm going to put it there. No, I'm not. I can't. The HR and the eyes, it looks so stupid. It's such a stupid organisation with stupid teams, with a stupid logo. It all makes sense, and it's probably still better than the 3D Max logo in terms of the awful red logos. Still better than that awful red logo as well. No, it isn't actually. You can sit right beside 3D Max with your stupid horn on the chin. Has he ever... I've never seen a devil with a horn on the chin before. iBuyPower. Awfully cropped. It was very hard to crop the iBuyPower logo. It is a terrible logo, but it works in a way. If you design that today and you were like, this is our new logo, it's this, and everyone would be like, Jesus Christ, that's awful. But it's iconic. It does kind of work. The colours work. Kind of like it. It's decent. We'll put it in between there. That feels right. IMT Immortals, a team that I want to rank lower purely out of spite again, because as you can tell, I'm a very vindictive person. The IMT logo, it is decent to be fair. It's got good colours and the nice grey background. The circle shape doesn't really make sense to me. It's like a backwards S. It don't really buy it that much. Probably I put it a little bit. Team Wolf and Dream Meters. The Immunity logo is the logo for a car company that went defunct in the Soviet Union in 1991. It's very, very bad. I think it's the worst thing we've seen. Is it bleed to my eyes? You know what? It actually is. The star makes me want to be sick. It looks like it'll cut my stomach up. The 3 things at the bottom, it looks like someone chopped an Atari logo in half with a fidget spinner at the top. No, not for me. Get in the bin. I hate it. I'm glad Immunity are gone. It's been relegated to Australia. Somewhere in Australia there's a prison and that logo is behind the vault. Ints. To completely change gear. It's a good logo. It's not like the Immunity thing. Ints can sit high. It's not very creative though. You just wrote your name with a T above it. It's a nice font though. It can sit quite high. It can sit... You know what? I can sit between Greyhound and Epsilon. Keyed stars. It's one of those logos that looks so dated, but at the same time you kind of like it. And dated doesn't mean bad, and keyed means good, pretty good. Better than Envy, worse than Astralis. Kinguin. The Kinguin penguin looks dopey. I do not like dopey looking penguins. He looks like he's on crack. The Crown is... Kinguin's a good name. The penguin does not look cool. I do not like Kinguin. I do not like Kinguin the logo. I do not like Kinguin the website. It's not the worst though. It's slightly poor. Yeah. No. There. LDLC.com. This is one of the ones that you think is good, but that's only because you think that watching Kenny S kill people with the AWP was good. Does not mean that it was a good logo. It is a bad logo. The .com looks stupid. It looks like someone 1992 opened up whatever the precursor to Microsoft Paint is. Let's call it Microsoft Draw. And he was like, oh, I can type team LDLC, that's us, .com. Oh, we can rotate the .com so it's 90 degrees. Horrific. Stop. Midway through. It's better than that though. The dat, I've had nightmares with that logo in them. LGB, abstract art, Swedish in their abstract art, Fnatic and LGB. What can you do? The colours nicer than the Fnatic colours, and the shapes are less garish than the original Fnatic, so it's going to be better than that. I think it's probably a little bit better than the new Fnatic logo, but not by much, so we'll set it in slightly poor. Now we have to rank the colours of the liquid logos, so we'll just put them here for comparison. Oh, that one really stands out, but whenever you look at it in like a white background, it looks horrific. This one looks nice in a white background. I think this one sort of has to win for purely being the middle ground. There's a new one as well, but I'm not going to rank that one because I haven't played in a major with it. So I think this one's going to be our highest ranker. It is a very good logo design though. I think it's probably better than Astralis, which is a first for Team Liquid. You can sit better than Phase Clan as well. You can sit there. You can sit there. Okay. The lighter coloured one's going to go way down. We'll put it here. And then the higher coloured one is probably a little bit better than the light one, but not by much. London Conspiracy, we'll do both our letters, rotate it 90 degrees, jobs are good. And bad logo, horrible colours, wide outline, why? No, very awful. And then quite awful, very awful, quite awful, very awful, quite awful, quite awful. Bravado, it's better than Bravado. Yeah, that's where it will stop. LG is a very, very good logo. I really like the LG logo. It's like a Cloud9 logo, but it's been possessed and stretched. Like, it's like the Cloud9 logo if the Cloud9 logo was turned into a ball and the colours were inverted. High. It's going to be high. How high will it be, though? It's very complicated to draw, as if that's a criteria, but you know what I mean. It's unnecessarily a bit too much. So we're going to put it a little bit lower because of that. We'll say it's pretty good. Pretty good. We're going to go a high. Pretty good is a bad name of the tier. It should have been called very good or something slightly more positive. It's better than the new liquid. The middle liquid, I should say. MIBR. Iconic. Classic. Yes. Good. No, maybe. I don't know. It's painfully mediocre is what it is. Put it in the middle of painfully mediocre, which means that it is the most mediocre of all of them. Misfits is characterful. It's a bunny with one of them on. It's not my thing. Not my cup of tea. Yeah. Don't know really. They're misfits. It was Sean Garrett and a couple of French people no one had ever heard of, which one of them was Amanek. It's not bad. Is it bad? It's not that bad. It's slightly poor, I'd say. Worse than Clan Mystic, better than LGB. The MySports logo has been allowed to exist for too long. It's been their logo the whole time. They have not changed it. They should have. This should be left. This is like a washing machine brand from the 1990s. I don't know what they're doing. It's confusing. What mouse looks like that? What sort of mice do they have in Cologne? Why have they picked that? Why? Alright, now we're going to go around the bottom, try and figure out where it belongs. Thinking it's better than the DAT logo. Worse than LDLC. That's where I can sit. My XMG, the team everyone forgets about because they don't have a sticker. It's like a space-suited polar bear, is how I can describe it. Space-suited polar bear is pretty creative. Gotta give that to them. Decent logo. Better than Dream Eaters? Yeah. Better than Immortals? Yeah. Worse than Wolf. You know what? I think I might actually switch this up a little bit. Do a bit of that. Even things out a little bit more. I hate how you can't drag things left. It's so hard. Look, I can't move that left. I have to move the F one right. Oh god, I made a mistake now. You know what? We'll just have it this way. Yeah, perfect. Changing my mind as we go along. Navi, the longest serving logo here, I believe. I mean, some of them were probably invented earlier, but they changed them and whatever. This was the only logo that was at the first major that's still in use today. You're going to say including NIP. So what about NIP? No, we're going to get to NIP. The Navi logo is iconic. It doesn't really work for the spelling. The I's kind of hard to see. It looks like it just says NIA. But I still like it. I like the colours. I think the colours are what makes it. You can set it nice and low down in the decent section. No, you know what? I think it's probably high in the decent section. Probably about here. End faculty. Stupid name. Logo. The holes are too big in the square. That's my problem with it. If the holes were a little bit smaller, I would have liked it more. It's going to be quite low. It's going to be slightly poor, I think. Probably really low in the slightly poor, actually. Probably about there. I think these two are going to get shuffled up to the next one. And faculty can actually go down here. It can be the king of quite awful. Well done, and faculty. You're the king of quite awful. It's also the first time anyone's ever said their name in about 6 years. The new NIP logo and the old NIP logo. The new NIP logo is a transparent version of the old one, which doesn't work on white backgrounds, and that makes me very annoyed. Why did you change it to make it just break on white backgrounds? Why have you done this? It's just baffling. It's not like the NIP organisation have never made any other bad decisions. This is just the worst one. This can go and bleach in my eyes for being a cardinal sin of making a good logo somehow worse. This one is, I can agree, need a little bit of polish. You know, there's little bits of it don't quite look right compared to the new one. The new one looks a little bit better in some ways. But the fact you made a white background and just doesn't work anymore, no. Bad. New old logo though wasn't that bad. It was decent. Painfully mediocre actually. Set it about lower painfully mediocre. The bottom painfully mediocre for now. North. I really like the North logo. I think it's really good. Don't think they should ever change it. This is another one I can't believe they changed. It doesn't work as well in white, but they do a white one as well, to be fair. I think this is probably my favourite. Or my second favourite. I think I'm going to go second favourite. I think I like big just a little bit more. Give me a second to catch my voice. The NRG logo is very good. It's great. I love it. Amazing. Probably, yeah, amazing. We'll put it here above CLG. Yeah, great. Really good job, guys. Actually, I'm just saying this now. I'm going to flick this around to that. Yes, that makes me feel better. Okay. You've made a good logo. It's lovely. Purple. Not a colour people use a lot. My favourite colour. I like seeing purple about. Good. How do you make our logo better? How about we become an 80s dishwasher company or a 60s TV company? Why? Why have you done this? Why is this the thing you've made? This is horrific. It's a war crime. It's a crime against my eyes. My eyes are in pain looking at this. I'm going to look at the webcam because I cannot look at this. This is going to sit at the bottom of bleaching my eyes. No, I'm not doing this. I'm not even going to say anything else about it. Optic versus Phase, which is better? Phase is clearly better. Optic isn't amazing. It's a bit meh. The G doesn't really work for me. The O looks kind of nice. Colours are okay. It's going to be a painfully mediocre from me. Slightly poor actually. Sit at the high, slightly poor end of the spectrum. I think I actually like the way I've cropped the Clan Mystic logo more than the actual Clan Mystic logo. So we go for a full black logo. It's going to be Penta. It's perfect. I can't criticize the Penta logo. It is just brilliant. Shame the team is terrible. Was terrible. Now they don't exist. Even better. It just works so well. The orange one is not a good idea. I don't know why they did that. But if 5 is a CSGO thing, you have 5 players. Penta is the name of the team. It's big 5. It's a shield. It works so well on so many levels. Godlike, simply. Planet Key Dynamics, the seatbelt. The seatbelt, that's what it is. It's a seatbelt. Why have you made a seatbelt? Planet Key Dynamics. It sounds like a fake company. It doesn't sound like a CS team. What are you doing? Don't make a seatbelt. That one's definitely near the bottom. Probably there. QB Fire. Good run at the major. Logo's not terrible. It's slightly poor, I think. Nah, painfully mediocre. It doesn't have to be slightly poor. It can be here. Here. Yeah, there. It can now be the new MLBR. I think I have to keep MLBR in the middle just to make sure it is the most painfully mediocre, because it is just boring. Let's just spell out our team name but make part of the MBI. Why? Reason. Give me a reason why you've made an indent on it. You're not Apple, you're Reason Gaming. Apple makes sense because you can take a bite out of an apple. You don't take a bite out of a square with an R in it that's got a joystick. If you hit that, just the R. Don't do the weird background thing. Just do the R. It's perfect, brilliant. That'll be high up. You've done a weird grid around it. I don't really like it. It's still not bad. It's not going to be. We're renaming this. Very good. It's not bad. It just could have been better very easily. Slightly poor, painfully mediocre. There. Yes, I'm happy with that. Recursive. Right. It's a YouTube channel logo. It's a Let's Play channel run by a 13-year-old who thinks he's so cool. Has made that as his logo, and you put that there. You made a 13-year-old's YouTube logo. Are you happy? Are you proud of yourself? Kenny playing with that? It's a crime. It's not good. I'm very disappointed in you. It is painfully mediocre. It is the most painfully mediocre of all of them. But I just think what it represents, the 13-year-old YouTube army, makes me dislike it more. Best of the very awful bunch. Renegades. Once again, colours I don't like. Theming I do like. His bandana's a bit too long. Goes down to about here. Don't think they really go down that long. Maybe they do, but you've not put any neck in. It just looks like a man who's got like a triangle head or something. I'm criticising it, but I don't actually. I'm not that annoyed by it. Slightly poor, maybe not. Painfully mediocre. Decent. It's decent. It's the worst decent one. No, it's worse than the Avant-Garde logo, actually. It's worse than that one there. Rogue. Good logo. Like Misfits, but better. Yellow person. Shouldn't say that. Sounds like a slur. Their skin is very not skin-like is what I meant to say. Oh, it's hair. I forgot it was hair. Yes, it's meant to be a blonde guy. Should probably cut that bit out of the video. Did not mean to sound like that. Yeah, if it's hair, I don't like it as much. If it's a person's face, I sort of like it a bit more. You know, it's still pretty good. It's good. It's decent. It's good. I'm reflecting on doing that. Team Wolf has moved up so much since I started. SK. It looks bad at first glance, but you sort of kind of like it in a way. I don't know what it is about it. It's sort of so weird and abstract that it sort of works in a way. There's no K in it really. There's no S in it really either, but you can sort of understand it in a way. It's not a good logo though. You have to be fair, it isn't a good logo. It's painfully mediocre at best, slightly poor at worst. Put it in slightly poor. Above Optic and below Clan Mystic. Space Soldiers, a good logo for a dodgy team, but the thing about this logo is if you look at it closely, it looks horrific. It's only when you sort of come out of it, it sort of works a bit better, and I kind of like that. It's something different every time you look to sound like a weird corporate person. You know what? It's good. It's good. Is it very good? Yeah, it is very good. It's gonna go about here. Spirit. Team Spirit. I really like this logo as well. I'd say this one is very good. Can slide all the way up to about here. Yeah. Splice, the snake logo that looks like an S, because splice starts with an S, guys, and it's a snake because you splice snakes. Either way, still pretty good. Decent. Yeah, king of the decents. Yep, just call it the decent exposure. Sprout. I do like this logo as well. I think maybe my love for this logo is second-hand love for the Penta logo, because the team that left Penta then became Sprout. It's still nice though. I still like it. It can sit quite high, I think. It can hang with the good. It's probably better than the G2 logo for me. Simon. You've called your team Simon. That's a terrible name. Red and blue. It's an S and a G. But you've done it in the worst possible way. Why is it split in half? Why is half of it red, half of it blue? Neither of the colours are even nice. You've gone too dark on the blue and you've gone too dark on the red. You should be lighter on the red. You know what? Even keep it dark on the blue. Make it lighter on the red. It doesn't look right. Why is the writing blue? Why is the writing not split in half? If you've done the logo, the writing is split in half. The writing underneath, it's all blue. Why? You should have Simon at the top, maybe in red, and gaming at the bottom blue. Simon in red, gaming blue. No. It doesn't look nice either. No one likes the Simon logo. If you say you like the Simon logo, you're lying. Colorblind, because you think it's all one color. Then you're like, oh, this is brilliant, it's all one color. It's not. It's two colors. It's very bad. It's not as bad as that ES thing where he looks like a dope. It's not bleached in my eyes. It's gonna sit there. You're on the nice split Simon Gaming though. Two black logos now. Titan and TSM. Do them both at once for some reason. Titan. You sort of think, Titan, Kenny 2015 shooting people with the AWP. Oh yeah, that was a great time. The logo is weirdly shaped at best. It's problematic. Why is it not straight? Why is there like a little bit that juts out? It does sort of somehow work, even though it's really lopsided. You know, it can be good. It can be good, even though it's not. It shouldn't be good. It can sit. It can be the best. Give me the most decent logo. God, I've still been more positive than negative. I guess you take out the 3 liquid, or take out 2 G2s, 1 liquid. So you have to take out 1 Fnatic there then. Tyloo. It's a dragon. It's similar to Flash, as in the sort of animals. China animals, brilliant. You've got animals. You like dragons. You're the dragon. Perfect. The logo doesn't. The colours don't do a lot for me. The writing's kind of nice. It's sort of. It aspires to be more than it is. To sound way too technical to describe a CS team's logo. It's probably about here for me. I want you to appreciate Universal Soldiers. It's a bald eagle holding a mouse. A bald eagle holding a mouse. Since 2007, he's been holding that mouse. He's buff as well. A buff bald eagle holding a mouse since 2007. Need I say more? Better than Penta logo, yeah, of course. No, but for real, I think it's almost like it deserves its own category, because you can't even describe it. It is terrible. It's like the logo of a fish and chip shops that you'd see in the middle of nowhere in Southern Ireland. Or Southern England, I guess. But you can't hate it. It's like the room of CS team logos that are played at majors. You can't hate it at all. And for that reason, you know what, we'll just leave it at the top of Godlike. Why not? Who cares? It doesn't matter anyway. The Vega Squadron, the Shark Boys, came out of nowhere with a weird logo. All laughed at it. Should still laugh at it until they started beating our teams and beating NIP 16-2 on cash. I still remember that. That was very upsetting. It's 2 fins. More fin and tail than body. It's not quite awful. It's quite awful. Probably about here, and yeah, we'll break up the abstract awful art of London conspiracy and bravado. Very games and this, oh, TSM's just sitting there. Sorry, TSM. Good logo. Good logo. I'm satisfied with that logo. That makes me feel happy. It's, you can sit beside your buddy CLG. It's better than CLG. That's a satisfactory place for it to sit. Very games. Stupid name. Yes. It's a tick facing that way, which doesn't feel right to me as a left-handed person. That is a left-handed tick. As a left-handed person, should feel right. It doesn't feel right. It's painfully mediocre. Let's just be honest with ourselves. You can sit beside NIP and they can still have quarrels about 2013 or something. You can sit in front of NIP for once, so we'll let you have that. Vexed. It gets green towards the bottom, and I don't get why it gets green. The green makes it worse. It's not great anyway. It's slightly poor, quite awful, quite awful. Yeah, there. Vici, third Chinese team we have. 3D logo. PS1 era. Looks like it is. No, it's not doing anything for me. It's probably the one I've seen the least. No, it's not true, but you know, it's the one I think of the least. I don't know what I'm saying. What all I know is looking at that and getting hypnotized in the weird 3 gaps that there are around it is that it's not very good. In fact, it's slightly poor. Quite awful actually. You'd be the king of quite awful. Ribena Pro. Okay, you have Virtus Pro, iconic in orange. Yes, I agree with that. They are iconic in their orange. They're orange, white, and black, grey colour. They were in Poland. They go, yeah, Poland, yeah, strong. Basha. I don't mind it. I think you're all expecting me to start screaming about how bad it is, but I don't mind it. I honestly don't. I think if a team Orange Virtus Pro did not exist, and one day a team exploded out of the ether and called themselves, right, as a joke, they called themselves Ribena Pro, and that was their logo, I'd be fine with it. That'd be a high ranking logo. Perfectly okay. I think people want to detract from it because of all the Virtus Pro orange and black and white legacy, but at the same time, that Virtus Pro team was not living up to that legacy at that point. They were losing every event they went to. They were getting banged out by everyone. Legacy was gone. Org was like, wear some purple. Shame on you. Wear purple. Shame on them. Make them wear purple is what I say. This is a good logo. Old Virtus Pro logo. This is where I'm just going to say it's better, even though I've just said how good the old one was. You know what, it is better. Not by much. Put them beside each other. Vitality, le French team. French team logos. They've all ranked very highly, except for, I suppose half of them have ranked highly. LDLC is currently hanging out at the bottom. Vitality's a good logo. It's very abstract. It's sort of a bit weird, you know, a bit zany, a bit out there, whatever. Make of that what you will. Vitality's a good logo. Very good logo. Very good logo. Amazing logo. No. Very good logo. There we go. 3 teams to go. Almost finished. Vox. Bloody Australians at it again. Not as bad as Immunity. Only one thing is as bad as Immunity, and that's that NRG logo. Vox. It's simple. Mediocre, yes. Boring, yes. Yeah. I don't feel anything. Slightly poor. It's not. I know it is. I just said it's mediocre, but I do think it's slightly poor. Actually, I think we can set it about here. Windstrike, Looks like a friendly missile, not like a rocket, which is what it's meant to be. I thought it was a friendly missile for the longest time. It's not. It's a rocket with a window. If it was a friendly missile, godlike logo. Friendly missile. That's the baller thing you can imagine. Friendly missile. I have a friendly missile on my team. That's CS. It works CS as well. Instead, it's a rocket. Wind strike. What's it have to do with rockets? Still a great logo. Even though it's kind of a weird rant about nothing. Very good logo. You can sit high. You can sit probably about. You know what? I can say it's an amazing logo. Sit about here. I think I sort of look at it and realize it's an amazing logo, but it's one you've only really seen once. And that was a QB fired him, just disappointed everyone. Disappointed, but at the same time, it was always going to happen. Now, last but not least, we have Zapso. It's bland. It's simple. It's the worst possible way we could round out this list. But we're going to end it with Zapso going in to slightly poor. Painfully mediocre. Decent. I can't criticise it that much. It's better than Astana. It's not as better than any of them. So there you have it. Any final adjustments I want to make? Put Pig into godlike. We'll put anything you want to go up or down. You know what? We'll move up Liquid 1 down. We'll move Standard Dragons to painfully mediocre because I think I ranked that one too highly. NIP can sit there. E-Battle can sit. Do you know what? E-Battle's actually grown on me throughout this list as well. I can move all the way up to about here. Fnatic's not getting moved down. VG's not getting moved up. Recursive is not getting moved down. NIP. The old NIP logo I was a bit harsh on actually. The new NIP logo I was a bit harsh on it. I was supposed to do palette swaps and all. You can move up out of the bleach my eyes section. There you have it. Our 90 logos have been completely ranked. Generally positive. Although some of them were like not good, but I think they're good because they're really bad and that's quite funny to me. And they're there for humiliation purposes. Not pointing at anyone in particular in the top left corner. Okay, that's going to round out the video. Thank you for watching. Follow me on Twitter. Subscribe to me on YouTube. Like, comment, tell me what I've done wrong. I'll leave the link in the description so you can do your own. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day. See you on the next one.